right, guys, here with John Sirianidis. We just saw the conclusion of the Division III state final. Tewksbury 42, Plymouth South 14. Tewksbury piling some points at the end of it there. John, I think coming in, a lot of teams had favored, or a lot of people would favor Tewksbury, pulling out a surprise. I think what surprised me, because we've talked a lot about kind of that offense being kind of the history of football. You see in single wing formations, all sorts of crazy stuff. They kept it pretty straightforward today and pretty balanced. 318 total yards, 193 rush and 125 passing. I thought they kept the game plan pretty simple compared to what we've seen in past weeks.
Yeah, their physicality to me was the most impressive. First of all, when you're a coach, you look at the physical build of a lot of these guys, and you can tell that they're a weight room team just by looking at them. Because when you look at the measurables, they don't jump out at you, but physically they've got those thick arms, those thick legs, and they play bigger than their size. And that impressed me a lot. To your point, Brendan, in the second half, they pretty much got in the eye wing, slot, and they ran the football. They ran their power, they ran their lead play, and they just basically wore down Plymouth South. They had more numbers, they were more physical, and I think that was the difference. The other thing is their versatility on offense. They do so much that they can get the ball in their playmakers' hands out of a variety of ways, variety of formations, and I think in the end that was too much for Plymouth South to handle.
Yeah. You mentioned about the physicality. Two guys I think laying the wood today in particular, James Sullivan, 125 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns. Then Kevin Dick, 83 yards receiving on 7 catches, 1 touchdown. Both of those guys on the defensive end, Kevin Dick playing corner, James Sullivan playing in the safety. You knew you were going to have to load the box against South. And like we were saying earlier this week, they embrace that stuff. They love to hit, and these guys are really showing it out there.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it speaks to the type of players they have physically. When you're playing a guy like Dylan Oxen, you've got to be able to make first contact, sustain it, and allow your teammates to get to the ball so you can get multiple hats there. And I thought they did a pretty good job of that. I mean, look, Oxen's a great player. He's going to make his plays, but he didn't really hurt them. And that's the thing. And when Tewksbury got the ball offensively, they were able to control it, especially in the second half, to where they made Oxen a non-factor. The other thing is, and I think this is lost on a lot of people, Oxen plays both ways. And that takes its toll on him physically as the game goes on. And I think that was part of Tewksbury's plan in the second half. Let's run at him. Let's wear him down so he's not as effective on offense.
Yeah, Tewksbury going wire to wire here as the team to beat in D3, and they did nothing to sedate from that or kind of deviate from that. Plymouth South was right there with him, too. And let's not forget, that was a pretty good first half, I thought, with Oxen and running behind those big hoggies, especially Sean Duncombe.
Absolutely. And I think the problem for Plymouth South, unfortunately, is they really didn't have anything else. Not only did they not have another player that can really make an impact, but they schematically are handcuffed. When you look at their offense, they want to win games 14-12 like they did against Stoughton. They're not going to get into a shootout. And if they have to play from behind, they're not good enough when they open things up and they spread things out to throw the football. So I think ultimately they just ran out of gas. They're a good football team. They're well coached. But in the end, one kid can't win you a game. It is the ultimate team sport. And I think that caught up with them.
There you have it. Tewksbury 42, Plymouth South 14. Tewksbury takes its first Super Bowl title since 1996, winning the D3 state title here under the lights at Gillette Stadium. Almost done. We got one more game, so stick around. For more coverage, go to ESPN Boston.